And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday night wine stream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick, and tonight, well, we've got another Italian wine. It's been a little while since we've done it. We've been drinking Spanish wines and wines from other France and other countries. Tonight, we're back to Italy for another Italian wine, and I'm excited to try it out because I hear that it may be a pretty good one. We'll find out. We'll see how it goes. All right, we also have some other fun in store for tonight. We have, of course, we're going to open and pour the wine and pair it with some foods and give it a review. Also have some national days to toast, and a lot of national days to toast tonight. So we'll be doing a lot of toasting. Hopefully this wine is up to it, and hopefully so am I. We also have some lovely foods prepared by my lovely wife, Chi, to try out, and a nice, interesting dessert that my son, Tom Antio, picked up earlier this evening. Also, I have a birthday toast, a special birthday toast, and I have a special video that I'm going to show that I've never shown on this show before, and this is a stand-up comedian, and he is only in the video, he is only 7 years old and a first grader, and he will be performing. He's going to be performing live on stage in this video. I think you'll enjoy this. It should be a lot of fun. And of course, we have the usual open chats, and we're going to discuss whatever you want to discuss in the chat. You know, if you're joining me for the first time or the 175th time, because this is the 175th episode of the Saturday Night Wine Stream here on Drink with Rick. This is a stream of consciousness kind of show, okay? So you kind of have to get used to that. I do have show notes. I do have them. They're right here. And I just referred to them a minute or so ago when I was going through the itinerary for the show tonight. But I don't always follow them verbatim. We go off in different directions because the show's not about me. The show is somewhat about the wine. It's just to get things going. But the show is really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night and just kicking back and relaxing with our favorite libations and our favorite snacks, whatever they are, just sitting around, just having a good time and chatting with each other. That's what the show is about. Now, we don't talk about politics or religion on the show. Let's keep those off the chat. We talk about things that bring people together, like the wine does. That's what the wine does, is it brings people together. That's what the show is really about. And these strange times, we really need more of this sort of thing, right? Let's find some commonality, some common ground, and you get a chance to sort of know each other a little better. And I think that once everyone knows each other a little bit better, you might find that you might have more in common than you think. I'm just saying. Now, we are live. If you want to join live on the live chats, we are live, and I'll show you where. If I can pull it up. You know what? I did not prepare this tonight, so I'm going to prepare it now. We are live on here. I've got the wrong page up. There we go. There's the right page. Let me go call this up. All right, we're live on our Facebook page. The Facebook page is Drink with Rick. The YouTube channel, you can chat with us live on YouTube. The YouTube channel is Drink with Rick, and you just type in a search for that. You can find it, Drink with Rick. And Twitch. Twitch is Drink with Rick 1. If you go to twitch.tv/drinkwithrick and the number 1, all one word. Twitter is at Drink with Rick. And yes, we are streaming live on Twitter, and you can tweet me there. Hopefully I'll see the tweets in time. And we're also on Odyssey. Odyssey is at Drink with Rick. :7. That's where we are, and that's where we are streaming live. Now, the podcast version of this show, let me see if we can pull this up again. Here we go. The podcast version of the show goes out on Monday nights. If you can't watch now or watch later, you can listen later. You can watch later too, because I do post these videos on YouTube as well and Odyssey. But you can listen later at your leisure. at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, Deezer Radio, Amazon Music.org, Podcast Index, AmazonMusic.com, PodcastIndex.org. Sorry for mixing that up. My apologies to the Podfather, Adam Curry, there, because podcastindex.org is his site. And by email, if you click on the little blue button, go to drinkwithrick.com, go to the subscribe page, you'll see a little blue button there. It says by email. Click on that by email button, put your email address in the little box, send it off to me, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops, and no salesman will call. It's just for getting the podcast. And of course, you can unsubscribe from any of these venues at any time, but please don't. I'm not going to beg for subscriptions or likes, and I've talked about that before. But if you like, please like and subscribe and all that other good stuff. But there's no obligation to do that. I have been told before that I should be telling everyone to like and subscribe and ding the bell and all that other stuff, and YouTube and whatever. But I really don't. That's your call. If you want to do that, it's totally up to you. There's no pressure here, okay? We're just getting together and have a good time. That's what it's all about. So anyway, let me show you what we're going to be drinking tonight. But before I do that, let me get into the chats and check the chats and see how things are going. Yeah, I usually, the first 10 minutes or so, I'm usually just doing the setup here for the show to give everybody time to find their seats, get their snacks, get their drinks, and whatever, find their seats, and hopefully you're not driving, but don't drink and drive, please. But get yourself situated before the show starts, and that's what that's for. Okay, my lovely wife, she is in the chat in YouTube. She says hello, and hello right back. By the way, thank you for the lovely foods. And I'm going to, and she said hi. Again, hi right back at you. And let's check everywhere else. Okay, and Twitter, hopefully we've got some notifications on Twitter. But if you're watching on Twitter live, welcome, and it's great to see you here. Let me see where else we are. Okay. All right, we're good. We're good for the time being. Oh, we got Twitch. Let me check Twitch. I almost forgot Twitch. And CM Cinder's in the chat on Twitch, and CM Cinder is great to see you also. She's waving at me. She's got a waving emoticon, and it's great to see you here also on tonight. Oh, I've got a couple of photos of CM Cinder, or one or two, or at least one there that I'm probably going to show later in my favorite photos segment of this show. Oh, and what favorite photos they are. I'll show them to you presently. Anyway, this is what we're drinking tonight. This is an El Borgo Collinare. It is a Nero d'Avola Sicilia, and it is made with organic grapes. I don't know if you can see that too well right there on the front. If you're watching right now, on the label it says made with organic grapes, and that was one of the things that drew me to this bottle. I thought, organic grapes. I like that. And here is the back of the wine, and it says Il Borgo Collinare, made with organic grapes, 2021, Nero d'Avola Sicilia, Denominazione di Origine Controllata, and is certified organic by Valor Italia, and even has a control number, operator control number, N.401. And there is 13.5% alcohol by volume, ABV, in the 750 milliliter bottle of wine. It is a product of Italy, imported by WX Imports in Novato, California, and bottled by NA.VE Sermenate, Italia, red wine. Okay. And it does say contains sulfites. All wine contains sulfites. Wine doesn't contain sulfites. This one does. Not added sulfites, apparently, because this is supposed to be natural, right? I don't know, it was fermented naturally, but it is, the grapes were grown organically, so that's a good start. CM Sanders says, I'm going to be heading off shortly, but just stopping by to say hi. Well, hi right back at you once again. CM Sanders, stick around for a little bit because you might find some items of interest for you here on the show. Stick around as long as you can. If you can get a hold of your brother, have him take a look too. He's been out and about today. So anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, okay, we're going to open the wine up, right? Let me check the chats one more time. And we got, all right, folks in the chats watching. We've got folks watching. If you're watching, just jump in and say hi. Don't be shy. Just say hi and tell me how you're doing. And tell me what you're drinking or what you're not drinking or what, whatever it is you're up to. Okay, so let's get a hold of this wine and get this open and get this show going. So here is the bottle. And I'm going to open it up with the foil cutter. Now keep in mind, I'm not a sommelier, okay? We're going to review this wine, but I'm not a sommelier. I'm not a wine snob. And if any wine professionals, wine snobs, as some people refer to some of them, I am not one of those type of people, okay? I don't pretend to be. If you go to my website at drinkwithrick.com, I will tell you emphatically that I am not such a person. What I am, though, is I am an everyman who likes to drink wine. And that's just like 99.9% of everybody else out there, okay? Just a regular person who likes to drink wine, and I know what I like and I know what I don't like. Yes, I can pick out various tastes and subtleties in the wine to a point, but that's the thing is that am I going to like this wine? Am I not going to like this wine overall? And that's how most of us drink it. We'll buy a bottle of wine and we'll say, hey, either like it or I don't. And some people don't care about all the little subtleties of the wine. Sometimes I do. There are certain things about the wines that I do like as far as subtleties are concerned. Okay, I've got my mechanical corkscrew. Just open that up. And we're going to remove the cork. Yes, I didn't uncork the wine. I decorked the wine. That's my term, and that's what we say here on the show. Okay? Hey, it's our show. We don't have to stick to all the stuck-up terms, right? That's right. I am an anti-sommelier. No, I'm not anti-sommelier. Okay, I'm not. All right, we've got the aerator in here because yes, I do use the aerator. I just don't drink it straight out of the bottle. Although I could. Some people do. I have a little class, I have just a little class. Speaking of class, well, I have a little class and I have a big glass. And speaking of the glass, I have my genuine Galway Irish crystal glass given to me by my employers at bytwowayradios.com, which will hold the grape nectar as we sniff and consume it. And hopefully it is a good little sniff. Now I'm going to give this a little bit of swirl here. Okay, a little bit of a swirl here, get things going. And then I'm going to set it aside for a minute. I'm not going to drink it right away. I'm going to give it a chance to breathe a little bit. And I'm going to set it on my genuine Drink with Rick coaster. The genuine Drink with Rick coaster for the Saturday Night Winestream. And I will tell you how to get a pair of those free towards the end of the show. I did promise I was going to do that last week, and somehow I missed. I got sidetracked. Maybe it was Roadkill. Yeah, I'm going to blame everything on Roadkill Bill. Yeah, he's coming up later too. All right. Anyway, we're going to set that aside for a minute, and while it is opening up, let's learn a little bit more about this wine. Now, I checked around online. I didn't find too many places where I saw it listed. I saw a few listed. Seller Tracker had it listed with a CT 86.5 with 4 user reviews. I'll be honest, I didn't really read these reviews, so I really don't know. Well, I read a little bit of it, but I didn't really study them too hard because I was surfing around, just saw them there. Bottle Bargains had this listed. It does have it listed for $12.99. It says elsewhere $14.99. Vivino has it listed. They gave it 3.5 stars based on all the vintages. Just an average price across all the average vintages. It says starting around $8.99, I think is what they said. I guess it's for the 2021 version, the vintage, I should say. Let's see, where else did I see it? I saw it listed in a few places, but mostly I think there are a couple of reviews that had to do with buying at Trader Joe's. Well, of course, yes, that's where I purchased it, at Trader Joe's. I have the receipt. I think this is it right here. Yes, here it is. My receipt from Trader Joe's. Sale transaction, Il Borgo Collinare Nero. Okay, I paid $6.99 for this bottle of wine. $6.99 for this 750 milliliter bottle of 13.5% ABV. So that's what I paid for it. So we're going to find out. We're going to give it a little bit of a taste. Before I do that, let me check the chats one more time and see what's going on in the chats. And CM Center, I hope you're still around with us here for a minute. And okay, kind of quiet. So let's go ahead and taste this wine. Well, let's give it a whiff first, okay? Let's give it a little bit of a swirl and see what this wine is all about. Well, it's cherry. Cherry and maybe a mix of blackberry on here. All right. Smells pretty fruity. Let's give it a taste. Oh, it's a nice long finish there. Yeah, cherry, some blackberry. A little earthy. It is a fairly bold wine, though. It's pretty bold, and I want to say it's medium bodied, but it's a little medium to full bodied. This wine, it is a fairly dark, not super dark, not deep ruby complexion to it. It's kind of medium tannins in it. It is tannic, but not a whole lot. It's fairly dry, but there's a twinge of sweetness to it. Just a twinge of sweetness at the beginning. Very dry going down. Still medium tannins. But it is it is kind of bold. It's not super bold like some of the ones we tried, but kind of a little on the bolder side. Definitely not a light drinking wine. And it does have a long finish. Very fruity going down. And then a bit of earthy. Maybe a little bit of mostly I'm getting a lot of cherry and blackberry. I'm going to let this open up a little bit more. I've read some reviews where there was some were getting a lot more out of the wine than that, but I'm not really getting that a whole lot of other items in here except the cherry and the blackberry. mostly the cherry. And it's a little earthy. It's it doesn't taste like, I mean, obviously it's 2021. It doesn't taste like it's been in the bottle that long. So it could probably stay in the bottle for another 6 months or so. But it's pretty decent. It's a pretty decent wine. I bet it'd go pretty good with pastas. I haven't checked, but I guess it would go pretty good with pastas. I would imagine, being an Italian wine like this. Well, it just so happens we have a little pasta to taste it with. Now, I didn't show this to you before, but I am going to show it to you now. This is what we have. Camera 3 is up, right? Okay. This is what my lovely wife, Chi, has prepared for tonight. And it looks like a nice little collection of dishes, some Italian. We have some Italian dishes. We have some ziti there, some ziti with meat sauce. And we have, what else do we have here? If I can reach over here, get it. Oh, we have some smoked turkey. This is from, I think this is from the Q Shack in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have some barbecued beef brisket. And then, of course, we have, as a regular feature now, we have the unexpected cheddar with parm and the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda, which is a favorite. And we've never had a miss on that wine. So I'm looking forward to trying this out with all of these. All right, so back to camera. Here we go. My camera's back on. Let me move. I'm gonna have to move the wine out of the way just a little bit to get to this platter. Okay, yeah, there was something else that I didn't mention. We go back, camera 3. What is that thing there on the other side, or on the right hand side? This is a cookie. It's a gluten-free cookie, and to be honest, I don't recall where this was picked up. My son picked it up, and he found them in his travels. And if he's in the chat now or in just a little bit, maybe he can mention the name of it or put up a link to it or whatever. He said it was really, really fantastic. It was so good. They went in first. He was with his friend Nick, and they went in and had a couple cookies. And then, as I understand it, they came out and called me up and said, "Hey, how would you like some cookies?" And I'm like, "Yeah, when would I not like some cookies?" And then he went back in and bought some more cookies. So I'm looking forward to trying that out as well. So we'll go ahead and try that in just a moment. Let me check the chats one more time. All right, we're good for the moment. And, Scott MTHW's in the chat tonight on Twitch. And Scott says, "What up, Rick? How are you feeling, buddy?" Well, I'm feeling just fine tonight, Scott. And how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. And what are you drinking tonight, by the way? You don't have to be drinking anything, you don't want to, but, I hate to drink alone, I can if I have to, but I'd prefer to drink with you. Let me know what you're drinking. Here's a Scott. And Scott, if you're just joining in, the itinerary for tonight, I've already opened the bottle, obviously. We're about to pair it with some food. We're going to toast some national days, a lot of national days to toast, and I have my favorite photos I'm gonna share with you all, and I've got a special video. 7-year-old comedian, yes, I'm gonna. 7-year-old stand-up comedian on stage. It's a pretty classic, funny video. I think you'll enjoy it. And let's see what else we got here. Oh yes, we have some other fun going on in the live chat. I'm looking at my show notes. I'm staring right at my show notes, and I'm just like, okay. So where were we? Oh yes, we're going to pair it with the food. Let's get the food pairing out of the way so we can get down to have some fun. Let's go back to camera 3. I had it up here. And I'm going to try, and it's probably fairly cold now, but we're going to start off with the barbecue. This is the barbecue beef brisket from Q Shack in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm going to try this now. Now, once again, this wine, being a red wine, should go pretty well with most meats. Should go okay with this one. We'll give it a try. Now, this meat is getting a little cold side. It's good though. Really good barbecue. It's leftovers. I had some early for dinner. Oh, I like that. And the earthiness that's in the wine really brings out the smokiness in the meat. Very nice. I like that. A very good pairing. So far, I'm kind of liking this wine. It's pretty decent. Clear the palate. All right. Let's go back to camera 3. And let's try it with the smoked turkey. Now, I'm not so sure about the turkey. You know, it's smoked. It'll probably be okay with the red wine, but well, we'll find out. We will find out right now. This is good smoked turkey, by the way, from the same place that we got the barbecue brisket from. Nice and tender smoked turkey, too, by the way. Actually goes pretty decent with the turkey, and as I mentioned before, there's a slight twinge of sweetness in the wine when it first gets on the tongue. It turns out to not be so sweet, to be very dry going down and in the finish. And as I said before, there's a fairly long finish to this wine. With the turkey, the smoked turkey, the turkey meat becomes sweeter. Interesting. I don't know if that's the way they smoked it or whatever, but with this wine mixed with the meat, the turkey tastes sweeter. And that's very interesting. I kind of like that. It's pretty cool. I want to clear the palate one more time. All right, let's go back to camera 3. And let's try it with the pasta. I've been eager to try it with the pasta. This is this is also leftovers. We had it last night. I know I'm taking, boy, I'm really tearing up the garnish. But the garnish, by the way, is some mint from my wife's little garden. Let me see if I can get a piece of this. There we go. So we've got, I'm really making a mess out of that, aren't I? Back to camera 2, switching hands. This is very good ziti, by the way. Baked ziti with meat sauce. I'm expecting this one to be a winner. Ooh, and it is. I like that. That mix of the cheese and the meat sauce, it's like a beef sauce, and the pasta mixed with this wine. That's a very nice combination. I like that. I like that very much. This is a good pairing with pasta, I would say. Pasta with tomato sauce. And once again, that twinge of sweetness on the tip of the tongue from this wine makes the pasta a little bit sweeter. And you know how not pasta, but the sauce. And you know how some sauces where they'll kind of range between sweet and on the other end kind of sour? This sauce is sort of somewhere in between. This makes the sauce taste fairly sweet. So I like that. That's a good pairing. I do like that very much. All right, I'm going to clear the palate again one more time. And we're going to try it this time, back to camera 3. We're going to try it with the parm. This is the unexpected cheddar with parm, whatever's left of it, because I'm dropping it around here. And let's go back camera. There you go. I mean, this is kind of a medium cheddar, but the Parmesan gives it a little more of a bite. I like this. Nice pairing. You know, maybe I'm a little bit apprehensive about some of this because of last week. Last week we tried a wine that really didn't fare as well, that I didn't really care as much for. And this is a nice change. And yeah, I liked it. I like that. And clear the palette one more time. Let's go back to camera 3. Where's camera 3? Here they go. And let's try it with the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda. Now I'm going to reach around to grab this. There's the Double Cream Gouda. Camera 2. We're going to try it with the Double Cream Gouda. Now, the way things have been going, this should be also a winner. I'm not expecting anything different. Now, that's interesting. The Gouda, now this is good, it's good pairing. But what's interesting is that the Gouda gives, the wine becomes a little tart in this combination. Interesting, wasn't expecting that. So, that is an interesting pairing. Well, did not expect that. That was unexpected. But good. So it's paired pretty well with everything we tried it with tonight. I'm quite happy with the way this wine has worked out with food. I think overall this is a pretty good wine to pair with a number of different foods. So I think that's good. I'll give that a thumbs up. So let's go back to the chats for just a moment and see how things are going in the chats. T. Mathers is in the chat on YouTube. T. Mathers says, you should do Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc. Well, T. Mathers, hey, by the way, it's great to see you here. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here tonight on the show. And he says you should do Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc. I should. It's been a while since I've done a Chardonnay, and it's been a while since I've done a Sauvignon Blanc. Trying it with this food, probably a Sauvignon Blanc would probably be okay. I'm not sure about a Chardonnay with a couple of these items, but I'm just to be honest and upfront on this, is that mostly I drink reds. I do drink whites occasionally. I'm not so much a white wine person. I kind of prefer the reds over the wine. But that does not mean I discriminate against a good white wine. Not at all. I like a good wine, and there are a couple of rosés we've had on the show that I kind of liked. They were pretty good. Although the rosés, for me, tend to be a little bit sweeter for my tastes. Some of those rosés are. Some of the whites, and that's one reason why I guess I don't have too many of the whites on the show too much, because the white wines tend to be, there are dry white wines. The Chardonnays can range between, kind of semi-dry and sweet, and they're also quite buttery. But the Sauvignon Blancs can be dry. It can be a fairly dry wine, and I've had a few of those that were pretty good, really, really good. I've reviewed a couple on the show in the past that were pretty good. It's just that the reds, I guess my thing about the whites is that I've run across so many white wines that tend to be a little bit too sweet for my taste. So at least when I'm just drinking them alone. With some food, they can be much better, but I prefer the dry wines and the dry whites and the dry reds over the sweeter ones. And there are a lot of people out there that really like sweet reds, sweet whites. And there are people out there that have problems with the dry reds in particular because they will get those headaches, the red wine headaches that people talk about all the time. And that's not so much an issue with the red wine itself as much as it is the alcohol content in the wine and the sulfite, the high content of sulfites in the wine. So the thing is, though, with the reds, I find that the sweet reds tend to give me a headache. Though when they're really sweet, they tend to make me kind of feeling like a little sick and not really care for them. So that's why I kind of tend to stay away from the sweet wines too much. I can't drink a lot of that, with the sweet wines per se. But Team Others, I will take you up on that. I will look for a Chardonnay and a Sauvignon Blanc to review on the show here in a future date. I will take you up on that, and that's what I do here. A lot of the wines that I've tasted on the show are either wines that were sent to me to review, and when I do that, I let people know if I received this free one, I give it a fair and an honest review if it came from a vintner or something. If it came from a friend or whatever just sent me the bottle of wine, I make that clear too. And I've had a lot of recommendations for wines. You all have gotten into the chats and given me recommendations, and a number of them I have tried. And some of them I liked a lot. A few of them I didn't care for too much, but just my personal taste. But there are a number of them that were really good recommendations, and I liked. And not just wine, but beer too. We've had beers and ciders and a lot of other recommendations that, as a matter of fact, the ciders, I had Tom Antio on the show, and because he's a big cider guy, and we were tasting some ciders that were recommended by a couple of viewers on the show not too long ago, and we had a great time with them. They were really good ciders. And Tom, he liked one of them so much that went out and bought a whole case of it, and and he really enjoyed it. So T. Mather says William Hill and Kendall Jackson, decent brands. Yeah, the Kendall Jackson wines are good overall. William Hill, I have not had the opportunity to really try those. I have seen those around. I've not had the opportunity to try them. I will make a note of it here on the back of my notes here. And but the Kendall Jackson, yeah, I know those well, and I have had several of the Kendall Jackson wines, and they are pretty decent wines. I like them. They're good choices, actually. Very good choices. All right, and what's up on Twitch? Okay, and Tom Antio is on Twitch, and Tom Antio says, how's the wine? And the wine is pretty good. It's the complete 180 from the wine we tried last week. Now, I didn't hate the wine that we had last week, and let me see if I can pull that up again. Let's see if I can find, yes, this is what we tried last week, the Marques de Colbert. I thought it was marginal. There were some things about the wine that I did not like, but I'll be honest, I didn't finish this. I did not finish the wine. I saved it for Chi because she has told me in the past that she wants some wines for cooking with. And when I saved the bottle for her, I had it there for a couple of days, and it was set there for a few days. And at some point I said, we got to get this out of the fridge, or it's not going to be any good, to consume, period. And I said, you want me to save this? I can put it in a little container for you so you can use it for cooking. She says, no. So down the drain it went. Down the drain it went. Went down the drain. So no, I have done that. There have been a few bottles that I have dumped down the drain after the show. A few of them. Not too many, but a few. So I can't necessarily say I'd recommend that particular. Was that the one we had? That was the one we had, wasn't it? Marques de Colbert. I got to go back and check my previous episode here. Yes, it was the Marques de Colbert. That was it. Yep. Looking at that on the Drink with Rick website, drinkwithrick.com. Okay, so with the tasting out of the way, let's have some fun. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the national days. Let's go pull up some national days. Let's see if we got, I think we got it. Nope, that's not for me. All right, let's pull up the national days. September 24th. This is September 24th, 2022 for another hour and 5 minutes. So let's toast the national days. I'm going to cue the bottles and let's do some toasting. Everybody, let's toast together. September 24th is National Cherries Jubilee Day. National Cherries Jubilee Day. I love cherries. I love cherry. That's one of the reasons I like some of these wines. They have a cherry flavor, and this has a very strong cherry flavor to it. National Cherries Jubilee Day. I don't think I've ever had cherries Jubilee. I've had cherry pies, cherry tarts, cherry sodas. I've had a lot of different things with cherry in it. Cherry shakes and all that kind of thing. But I'm not sure I've ever had cherries Jubilee, not that I can recall. But let's toast it anyway. Here's the National Cherries Jubilee Day. I'll drink to that. It's also National Punctuation Day. Yes, it's National Punctuation Day. You get your punctuation correct. I try to have my punctuation correct. I have made errors like everyone else has. Oh man, we could go off on a tangent there, couldn't we? Talk about the stream of consciousness taking a different direction. National Punctuation Day. You know, one of my pet peeves, by the way, before I get any further with this, these are all courtesy of nationaldaycalendar.com. Nationaldaycalendar.com. Marlo Anderson is the CEO of that site. He does a great job with it, and we list all the national days. He's getting ready to put out the 2023 calendar for national days, and I hope to have a few on hand to give away during the holidays. As you know, during the holiday season, we usually do some giveaways on the show, and sometimes we have some contests and things like that. Be there for that, and I'm planning to have a couple of those calendars to give away, among other prizes. Anyway, back to the national days, which we never really left. National Punctuation Day. Okay, so one of my pet peeves. Okay, everybody has pet peeve, right? One of my pet peeves is national punctuation. Now, I have been known to make mistakes with punctuation, just like I make mistakes on this show, just like I made a mistake just a moment ago. Everybody makes mistakes. That's fine. But there are some things where some people will not use punctuation properly. One of those things that really, really bugs me for some reason is the way apostrophes are used. And you know what I'm talking about, you know, where I'll go down and I'll go out to a store or something and I'll see a nice professionally made sign saying, like, let's say, for instance, just as an example, Cherries Jubilee on sale, Cherries Jubilee, and they'll spell it with an I-E apostrophe S. Yes, well, maybe Cherries not a good example. Let's try something that that the IES, you usually don't use the apostrophe anyway, but some people have been known to do that too. But let's say, for instance, let's see. Let's say there are 4 Saturdays in the month, and someone will put an apostrophe between the Y and the S in Saturdays. So it's be like SATURDAY apostrophe S night. Sorry. Don't want to get any DCMA takedowns for reciting song lyrics, do we? Anyway, so if you didn't get that joke, don't worry. It's about it. It was pretty bad anyway. But the Saturdays, SATURDAY apostrophe S. And that drives me nuts because there is no apostrophe in Saturdays. It's plural. There's no apostrophe. And that's because the apostrophe goes in, before the S, generally if it is a possessive. So what you're doing is you're making the word Saturday a possessive, where it's like, oh, it's Saturday's night. That night belongs to Saturday, not Saturdays. I'm saying it's Saturdays. This is Saturday's wine, but the wine that belongs to Saturday, as opposed to just having an S in there at the end of the Y, just a plural. But that's just one of my little pet peeves. But I know that I do when I'm writing, and I do a lot of blogging. I have made errors as well, errors that irk other people, and they tell me so. It's funny because I work for the company I work for, By Two-Way Radios. I write the blogs as well, and as well as other things, and I'm writing a lot of the content and a lot of the product descriptions for the products on the site. And if I do make a typo, it irks me, especially because somebody will find it. It'll go a long time before somebody points it out, and then somebody will say, "Hey, you got a typo here." They'll send me an email, or they'll put a comment in there saying, "Hey, you got a little typo in here," and I'll go, "Where? Oh, how did I miss that?" And it irks me because I don't want to have typos. I don't like to have typos in my text. I don't like them. But when somebody points it out, that's, I appreciate it, but it just irks me that it exists. Now, I'm not irked at the person for pointing it out. I'm irked because it existed. I made the error in the first place, and I don't want to make those kind of errors. So, yeah, I make errors as well. Anyway, so where were we? We're off on a tangent. Okay, here's the National Punctuation Day. I'll drink to that. See how this works, folks? On this stream of consciousness kind of show. That's how it works. All right, let me check the chats for just a minute. And everybody got quiet, and I got into a punctuation thing here. All right, stick around. We're going to show this. We're probably going to show this video sooner rather than later, I guess. What's next on the National Day? Has everybody got your drinks together? Let's toast the next National Day, which is Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving. Yes, it is Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving. And if you have no idea what Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving is, do not feel bad about that, because neither did I until I looked it up at nationaldaycounter.com. And yes, I do have some information on it somewhere. I just, it's just in my notes, it's kind of locked. Well, I thought I did. Where did I put it? Well, maybe I didn't. All right, so essentially in a nutshell, Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving is the original Thanksgiving before the Thanksgiving that we observe now. Apparently, back in the 1600s, when some immigrants came from Germany, they and settled, they gave thanks for being in the New World, and that was their Thanksgiving. So, and that happened around, apparently it happened on the 24th of September, back in the 1600s. So that's my understanding of it. Anyway, look it up. Just Google it up and look it up on what is that site called? I know what the site is. I just don't want to. Okay, Wikipedia. Look it up on Wikipedia. I'm sure they have something on that day, and probably more accurate information than I do, if you can believe Wikipedia. I can't say I trust Wikipedia all the time either, because it's such an open venue, and anybody can post stuff in there, and you don't know if any of it's true, really. But that's Wikipedia. All right, so where were we? Oh, yes, National Schwenkfelder Thanksgiving. I'll drink to that. It's also National Public Lands Day, usually last Saturday in September. And this one, September 24th, 2022, is National Public Lands Day. It's also, I'm going to have to roll through some of these. National Hunting and Fishing Day. The fourth Saturday in September is National Hunting and Fishing Day. I've been fishing. Anybody been fishing or hunting lately? I haven't been fishing lately. I usually don't go hunting, but actually I never go hunting. But I've been fishing from time to time. It's this is interesting, National Ghost Hunting Day, the last Saturday in September. No, I'm not going to drink to that. National Seat Check Saturday. Usually the fourth Saturday in September is National Seat Check Saturday. I will drink to that. And it's National Singles Day. Now, those of you who may be single, I'm not. And ladies, I hate to disappoint you, but I am not single. Just ask my wife. And if I know what's good for me, I'll just shut up now if I don't want to become single. I'm just kidding. I love my wife. National Singles Day, Saturday of Singles Week, September 25th, 2021. So it's going to be Singles Week. I like craft singles. Those are the kind of singles I like. Well, you know what? I haven't had any craft singles for a while. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the cheese. The individually wrapped cheese that does pretty well with Kraft American cheese. It goes pretty well with cheese, grilled cheese sandwiches. And those are the national days for September 24th. Oh, there's one more. All right. This is one where I'm getting into the photos. Today is National Save Your Photos Day. Today is National Save Your Photos Day. I've saved most of my photos, most of them. But I have, in honor of National Save Your Photos Day, I have to share with you tonight, I have some of my favorite photos, and I'm going to share them with you right now. Here's one of my favorite photos. This one I took when we lived in Oviedo, Florida, years and years ago. And I have more than that. Let me show you the next one. This is another photo I took. This is of Tia, my daughter Tia. Oh yes, CM Cinder, who I don't know if she's still in the chat, but here is a photo of CM Cinder when she was about 7. I guess she was about 8 years old at the time. And yes, we did have a butterfly garden, and we did hatch our own butterflies from time to time. And that was CM Cinder checking one of her newly hatched butterflies. I have another photo here. This is of another photo. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but this was a really good salad that my lovely wife Chi made. And I really enjoy that. She's made a lot of really nice dishes. One of the things I liked about the salad, the presentation. My wife does an excellent, she's kind of an artist in her own right. She does an excellent presentation for the foods. Here's another one. Yes, my wife did this one too. A really, really nice fruit. It was like a fruit salad, but it was a very nice fruit dessert dish, and I was really impressed with that presentation. A few more, even for breakfast. We have breakfast. She is very good about arranging the fruits for breakfast. It's a talent she has, and yeah, that in there. That's also, you can see there's some avocado in there. We have some avocado at breakfast sometimes. But those are some of my favorite photos. Here's one of my newest favorite photos. This is a photo of some grapes. Some grapes. These are some dark grapes. I don't know which grape they are, because this is not one of mine. Now, the ones I've shown you so far are my photos. This one is one that I grabbed from a site called PXHere, pxhere.com. And these are public domain photos. They're free to use in the public domain. Here's another photo that I like. Oh, what a beautiful bunch of grapes these are. It's becoming a favorite photo of mine as well. Wow, just the color of these grapes, just wonderful. And here's some more. Here's a different cluster of grapes. Really, really like that. That's a nice photo. I didn't take that one either. Would have liked to have tried some of those grapes. Oh, look at this, a vineyard of grapes. That's another nice photo. A photo of a vineyard of grapes. Oh, I like that. And in this photo, there's a cluster of grapes, and those are nice. That's a nice looking bunch of grapes. Makes a fine wine with those grapes. Oh, well, speaking of which, look at that. Isn't that amazing? The colors of these grapes. It's just so impressive, and I bet this makes a really, really great wine. I'm sure it will make a great wine. They look delicious, don't they? Here's a nice cluster of grapes here. That looks delicious as well. Here's another photo that I like, and this is of a vineyard with, oh wow, just bunches of grapes everywhere. That's just I really like that. That's going to make some good wine, I think. And this is a nice photo as well of another cluster of grapes, another bunch of grapes. Oh wow, isn't that amazing? And then of course, oh, this is just amazing, right? Amazing photo. Some grapes with some wine. That's what I'm talking about there. And of course, who can resist a photo of this vineyard with the moon rising overhead, and just an amazing photo. So those are some of my favorite photos. So here is to National Save Your Photos Day. I will drink to that. Once again, those photos of grapes, I didn't take those. Well, I took them. I took them off the website, but I didn't take the photos. But they are public domain. It's a Creative Commons Zero, a Creative Commons Zero license, which means they are in public domain. So I'm making sure that I've got that disclaimer here, just in case any DCMA bots are out there on any of these show sites that I don't think they care on Odyssey too much, but some of the other places, you know, they get all been out of shape about some of these copyrighted pieces of content. This one is not copyrighted. These cluster of grapes are in the public domain. Okay, let me just make that perfectly clear. At least that's what they say on the website, pxhere.com. You can go check them out yourself. So that does it for the national days. You know, there are some national days for tomorrow. We can probably toast as well if anyone is still in the mood for toasting. Let me check here. What else we got here? Okay, Ed's in the chat. Oh, Ed, it's great to see you, my friend. He's in the chat on Facebook, and Ed says, Ed came in with the grapes. Perfect timing, Ed. It's good to come in with the grapes. It's perfect timing. So we've got the video coming up to show you. Well, I've got a few national days here to toast, and then we are going to go into the video. This is going to be fun because we've got a birthday to toast as well, and it's kind of tied. It's tied directly to that video, by the way. All right, let me fill up the wine a little bit more. September 25th is Math Storytelling Day. September 25th is in another 44 minutes here on the East Coast of the United States. No, I'm sorry, 46 minutes. Excuse me. It's coming up. Math Storytelling Day. Tell some stories that are related to math. I guess the math stories, the math problems, I suppose. It's also National Comic Book Day. Now, this is not to be confused with National Free Comic Book Day. Free Comic Book Day usually happens in May. I think it's the first Saturday in May, and that's when they give away free comic books at the stores. And I have run that video that Tom and I did some our website, freestuffshow.com. We were doing the Free Stuff Show. We did a video documenting Free Comic Book Day, and I play that every year here on the Winestream. But this is National Comic Book Day, period. Not Free Comic Book Day, but Comic Book Day. I'll drink to that. I like comic books. It's also another special one, another special day. I have to toast this one because I want to toast it. It is National Daughters Day. That's right, it is National Daughters Day. And in honor of National Daughters Day, I'm going to repost my photo of my daughter, Tia. That's how I remember her most fondly. My daughter, Tia. On National Daughters Day. So that's National Daughters Day. I will drink to that. National Daughters Day. Did I forget the... yes, I did forget... let's get the blue wave back up. There we go. Red wave. It's also National Lobster Day. I'm not a lobster person. You like to eat lobster? Some people like to eat lobster. Some don't. I'm not a lobster person. It's also National One Hit Wonder Day. September 25th is National One Hit Wonder Day. Now we're talking about those songs where someone just came in and they did that number one hit that stayed on the charts for a while, and then that was it. They've never had a number one hit song before or after that, and then some of these artists kind of went into obscurity after that even. One-hit wonders. National One-Hit Wonder Day. It's also National Open the Magic Day. I don't think they're talking about the basketball team, Orlando Magic. Open the Magic Day. National Quesadilla Day. Also Dia de la Quesadilla. It's Dia de la Quesadilla or National Quesadilla Day in about 43 minutes. I love quesadillas. I'd like to have a whole case of them. National Quesadilla Day. I'll drink to that. It's also National Research Administrator Day. National Tune-Up Day. And it's National Gold Star Mother's Day. The last Sunday in September is National Gold Star Mother's Day. I will drink to that. And with that, I think that's the national days. This is what we're drinking, by the way. For those who just joined us, Il Borgo Collinare Nero d'Avola Sicilia, made with organic grapes. And I like that. And so far, I'm liking this wine. And in fact, I like it a lot better than the wine that we had last week. So, yeah, I'm liking this wine. Pretty decent wine, and it's gone pretty well with most of the foods that we've had so far. Well, all the foods that we've had so far. Of course, I haven't tried this cookie yet. the cookie, of course, I've really decimated this plate somewhat, but the cookie we're going to try at the end of the show. Here, if someone can remind me. All right, now it's time for a special toast and a video. Special toast. I've got to cue the fireworks for this one. I want to toast Tom Antio, my son Tommy, who is about to turn 23 years old. He's graduated from Florida. What did I say? He's graduated from college. He was born in Florida. I was trying to mix my words up again. Okay, he was born in Florida 23 years ago, almost 23 years ago. He was born on September 29th, 1999. We were partying like it was 1999 over the birth of my son. And anyway, he was born in Florida. He just graduated this past year this past May from Appalachian State University. He's got a job right away. He's working with me over at ByTwoWayRadios.com, doing a fine job there so far. And he's the social media manager there, doing some videos and things like that, helping us with the podcasts and all those fun things. And just got himself a car. He's moving up. He's moving on up. And I gotta watch all these song references, don't I? That's how bad the DCMA thing is these days, I guess. Anyway, so he's moved on up the ladder. Success continues to do so, and I want to say congratulations, Tommy, on your success. Your birthday, September 29th, which is not, it's still 4 days away, 5 days away. It'll be 4 days away in another 39 minutes. But because we're not streaming that night, I want to toast you now. So here's to my son, Tom Antio, and your birthday. Happy, happy birthday, Tommy, and may you have many, 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 many more. To Tom Antio, and I'll toast you again just because I can. To Tom Antio, happy birthday. And with that segues into the video, because this video that I have tonight is let me set this up for you just briefly. Before we do that, let me check the chats. Ed, how you doing tonight, by the way? Hope you're having a great night. And Tommy says, thanks, Dad. No problem. Okay, so I have a special video to show. This is one, usually on these videos, I have to kind of edit them down for the podcast version. This one should not be a problem, because this video is of it's a live comedy act on stage, live in Oviedo, Florida. It took place in 2007, April of 2007. The comedian on stage was 7 years old at the time. A 7-year-old comedian. Original material. Keep in mind, this is original material. Nothing that he took from anyone else. This 7-year-old comedian was none other than my son, Tommy. I have a video. It's not the best quality video, and I'll if anybody wants to know what that deal was, I'll explain later. But just to set up the video, there's a pretty noisy audience. I've worked on trying to get a lot of the noise out of the way, and I think I got it down somewhat. Not the best camera work. And under the circumstances were a little interesting, but we were able to record it. We did get it recorded. But anyway, without any further ado, this is the comedy, stand-up comedy act by Tom Tommy Savoya, 7 years old, on stage live at Carillon this is Carillon Elementary in Oviedo, Florida.
Hi everybody! Is everyone having a great time? I know I am. It's great to be here at Carillon. My name is Tommy and I'm in first grade. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. First grade? No way! Really? In fact, you probably won't believe this, but I used to be little. When you're a little kid, you want to know about everything. Like, what makes the sky blue? How grass grows? Why Dad's bald? And why Grandma always smells like she's been sleeping in her closet. You know, we kids ask a lot of questions. But we're going to grow up someday, and we need to know this stuff. Grown-ups ask a lot of questions too. But they usually ask you things that they already know. Like, where did all this mud come from? Who flushed your socks down the potty? And what did you do to your sister this time? Like they already know the answer. So why are they asking me? But you know the one question grown-ups ask the most? They ask you, what you want to be when you grow up. One time my dad asked me that question. He said, Tommy, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, big. When I was a kid, when I was little, I had a pet. Now I used to not like dogs, especially big dogs that bark a lot. So I never really had a dog. No, I had something better. I had an imaginary dog. The great thing about an imaginary dog is that he always does what you want to do. He's free because he only eats imaginary food you can buy with the imaginary money. And he's a really great pet because he doesn't bark. His name was Barky. Barky the imaginary dog. My dad asked me where Barky came from. What a silly question. Why does everyone get an imaginary pet? At the imaginary pet store. I like Barky, but I think my mom and dad thought I was going a little crazy because when they found out I had an imaginary pet, they went to the real pet store and got me a real pet. It was a hamster. My dad said I should take really good care of my hamster because he cost $5. I told him next time he should go to the imaginary pet store because they had better prices. I named my hamster Barky. My dad said I already have an imaginary dog named Barky. Now I have two pets named Barky. I told him I didn't have the imaginary dog named Barky anymore. So my dad says, what happened to the imaginary Barky? Did he run away? I said, no. He died. So my dad is freaking out a little. And he says, he died? How did that happen? I said, he got hit by a car. So my dad really looking at me funny. He says, what? How could your imaginary pet get hit by a car? I said, it was an imaginary car. Thanks, you've been a great audience!
And that was Tom Antio's first stage show as a comedian. See, he was 7 years old at the time in first grade, as he mentioned. And yeah, it was all original material. And basically, I mean, I wrote the routine for him pretty much, and he had studied some stand-up comedians, so he kind of got a feel for how that worked. Gave him a few pointers, and wrote the routine along with him, and he performed it on stage, and it was a highlight of their show. And what is kind of interesting about about the whole act was that everything that he said, all the jokes, all of that actually came from him. I mean, I wrote it down, but they actually came from him because it's all stuff that he actually had either said or implied when he was younger. Those were actually based on all true incidents, true things that had happened. And he really did have an imaginary pet. And we did buy him a hamster. And he named them both Barky. And yeah, some of the things that he said to me when he was a kid, we incorporated into the act. So he basically it was all his own stuff, all his own comedy. So I just documented and put together in the act for him. And that was pretty much all I did. That was all him. Since then, and you can go on YouTube, find it on YouTube, but since then you'll find that there are at least two and maybe several more young comedians that have actually taken his material over the years and have done their own comedy acts and videos on stage. And I think one of them, I'm not sure that all of them gave him credit for it, but at least one of them accredited him as the source. I don't know about some of the others, but yeah, he's gotten used to the fact that it's kind of a common thing in the comedy business that people steal other people's stuff and use it in their acts. He experienced that firsthand, where people stole his material. But it's all good. So anyway, that was Tom Antio's comedy act video. Let me check the chats one more time. And Ed, I hope you're having a great evening, as I said before. And Marcus is in the chat. Marcus, is great to see you. Marcus LS, great to see you in the chat. And how are you doing tonight? Marcus says, very good. At that age, I could barely sing a song. Imagine doing a performance like this. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a singer. I'm not a stage singer myself. When I was a little kid, I did take up, I took up ballet, took up dancing for 1 year. Yeah, I had a friend who was taking ballet classes, and I liked her, and I said, I'd like to take some ballet classes too, just because she's taking them, not because I wanted to be in ballet, but she was taking them, and my sister was taking ballet classes, and my brother started taking them as well. My younger brother Michael, and a little tap dancing. So I said, hey, why don't I get in and try this for a while? Could be fun. So I did that and learn a few moves in tap dancing, which I've forgotten since then. And did a stage performance there. I have performed on stage a couple of times, and not just for dancing, but in a play and that sort of thing. But nothing memorable, nothing that I want to recount at the moment. Nothing that I care to remember. But Ty, yeah, he did a great job. Thank you, Marcus. Appreciate that. And appreciate the feedback. So what have we got here? Okay, a couple of things. I do want to remind everybody that we've got and for Ed and those who are in Florida right now, probably are already aware of this and are thinking about making plans for it. But we've got last I heard, we've got a hurricane that's heading towards that general direction, and they're saying that it could be cutting up through there on Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't checked the weather reports lately to get the latest update, but I have heard that there is one. It was a tropical storm at the time, I think, and they're expecting it to get to hurricane strength. And I think that is a concern for folks in Florida. And having come from Florida, having been born and raised mostly in Florida, I know how serious that is. Please get yourself a weather radio. Get yourself an emergency preparedness kit together. Be ready. Get a preparedness kit together. Go to ready.gov. That's a government website, ready.gov. And they have a list of items for emergency preparedness, particularly for weather emergencies and for other kinds of emergencies. A couple of the items on the list include a weather radio like this one right here, this ER310 from Midland, which is a really nice multi-purpose weather radio with 5 different power options to power the radio. It's a pretty good radio. We've got a couple of these. I've given away a number of them to friends and family in the past, and I have given one away on the show. We might give another one away towards the holidays. We'll see how that goes. And also, they say they have some two-way radios, some walkie-talkies in there. And I've got some walkie-talkies radios here. And if you do that, if you're putting together an emergency kit, you'll want to go to buytwowayradios.com. Buytwowayradios.com is the place to get your radios, no matter what kind of radios they are. They can be weather radios, they can be FRS, GMRS radios, CB radios, amateur radios, also known as ham radios, marine, airband radios, business radios. We sell a lot of business radios. Our primary business there is business radios. But if you go there, go to buytwowayradios.com, get yourself a weather radio, you can save 5% off the radios by entering promo code WINESHOW at checkout. WINESHOW. Wine Show at checkout. You get 5% off the order. Pretty much anything on the site, you save for 5% on. So you can do that. Just for full disclosure, I am the product manager for buytwowayradios.com. I don't make any extra for doing this. This is not a paid endorsement at all. They just pay me for doing my regular job. They don't pay me for. This is not an ad placement per se. That they're not a paid ad or a paid pitch by any sense of the word. They just pay me for doing my job. I do it because I really want people to be safe. I want you to be safe, and I really say, hey, look, go get a weather radio. If you don't get it from us, get it from somewhere, but just get a weather radio. Get some radios so you have some communication, some comms there, even if it's only one way, so you can be aware of what's coming weather-wise and any other, in the sense of any other disaster that could be coming. So you want to be prepared, and that's the bottom line. I want you to be prepared. I want you to be safe, and I stress that on the show all the time, and in other ways too, because I care about you. But just whether you get it from Buy Two Wear Radios or somewhere else, just get a weather radio. That's the thing. And with that, I would say that I hope everyone is going to be safe in Florida. I hope this storm doesn't get any closer to anywhere else other than where they think it's going, and it's not heading towards us or North Carolina or anywhere else. And hopefully, maybe it'll take a turn at the last minute and bypass everybody. That would be nice. But this is hurricane season, and hurricane season really starts to get serious around September, between September and November, and hurricane season ends around November 30th. So there are plenty of named storms that they are expecting to see pop up, and this is just one to be concerned about. So it's something to be aware of, something to be alert to. Okay, so having said that, that's my PSA for today. I'm going to give a final review of the wine in a minute, but before I do that, let's go back to camera 3 for just a minute. Let's try that cookie, because I've been salivating over this cookie somewhat, and I think it's time to really take a closer look at this cookie and a good taste of it too. I'm going to. Well, this is a really nice cookie. My wife doesn't she do an amazing job of presentation? She does. I don't know if she put the lime on there or not. I think this is supposed to be a lime. Maybe she didn't do that. Maybe that's the cook. Well, they did a great. They did a great presentation on this cookie. Wow. Let's see from the side view. There we go. This is a nice cookie here. All right, we're going to take a taste of this cookie and try it with a little bit of the wine. I hate to break this cookie up. Goodness. Oh, that's terrible. This is, by the way, this is a gluten-free cookie, as I understand it. That's what Tom Yantio says. Gluten-free. I've got wine here. Let's try a taste of this cookie. Whoop. With the wine. Why not? It's coming apart. I'm doing it with my hands. You can't eat a cookie with a fork. Wow. Tasty cookie. Wow. Tasty cookie with the wine. There's a sugar rush right there. Wow, that was good. Yeah, this cookie goes pretty good with the wine. Or I should say the wine goes pretty good with the cookie. Wow. That's sweet. Look, wines generally go pretty good with a lot of different desserts. This one I'm a little surprised about, because as was recommended earlier by T. Mathers on YouTube, white wines like a Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay, it would probably be good. Pinot Grigio, a number of different wines like that. They go pretty good. I would imagine they would go pretty good with a cookie like this, because some of those wines are a little, when you're talking about fruity, I mean, all these wines are kind of fruity, but like this red wine, it's going to have the fruits like cherries and blackberries and blueberries and strawberries and that kind of thing. Then you get into the white wines, which some of the white wines are really more on the citrusy side. And this seems to be something that would probably go really well with one of those white wines, as T. Mathers was suggesting earlier. And I think that maybe a good Sauvignon Blanc would go pretty well, or Pinot Grigio, or a let's see, let me think of a couple others that might work pretty well with that are white wines. But in any case, when you've got the lime in there, which is pretty good, the citrusy wine should pair pretty well with it. Could complement it really well. They could complement each other. So, yeah, it's a great cookie, and it's gluten free, which it seems to me that there's a healthy aspect to that as well. So I think that's got it for the show tonight. Unless there's anything else. Oh yeah, the one more thing. I did mention that I was going to tell you how to get some free coasters. Of course, we've been all through the night. I've been putting my wine glass on one of these, and the bottle, as a matter of fact, on one of these. The official Drink with Rick coaster. The official Drink with Rick coaster with a little QR code on the back and tell you where to get a hold of the Winestream, both the show and the podcast. And I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. I'm going to clear this off just a little bit because I use camera 3 for that because I do it live. I mean, I probably could just record this, just this little segment, and record it and play it every week, and I might do that yet. But I like to be more personable about that. I don't want it to be canned. I don't want this show to be just canned. So that's why I do it live. So doing it live like this, I'm going to put out a couple of these coasters here, and then I'm going to set up and tell you how to get a pair of these coasters for free. And let me get that set up there. There we go. Let's go back to camera 3. All right. This is how you get a pair of Drink with Rick coasters on the Saturday Night Winestream for free. Actually, technically, it's with the postage. You know, you have to pay the postage. That's all. But the coasters are free. So, and I do have some. I still have some. I got some more. So I have plenty that'll take us through. I don't think I'll have enough to take us through the holidays. I'll probably have to order some more for that. But I've got enough to take us through next month or so. Because I ordered more and I keep plenty on hand. So that's good. 2 free Drink with Rick coasters while supplies last. I'll tell you how to get them. And by the way, here are the rules. Limit 2 per person. I didn't say per household. I just said limit 2 per person. I'm not going to hold. I'm not holding you fast to that. I mean, I don't want you to order send me 50 requests and to the same person, and then you're hoarding them all up. That's not how it works. Limit 2 per person. For you and and a companion drinking with Rick on a Saturday night. Your favorite wine, your favorite libation, your favorite drink, whatever it is. Give me water, give me coffee, whatever. I put coffee mugs on mine sometimes. Limit 2 per person. And you can have several people in the household and they can all order. It's okay. Continental U.S. only. I can't guarantee that they would make it anywhere else outside the United States. I'm just saying that. I mean, you can send me the envelope, but you probably have to put a lot of stamps on there. Now, I can't guarantee that the postage would be sufficient or that would get there very good. So basically, that's why I say U.S., United States only. So what you do is you send a self-addressed stamped envelope. Get an envelope, address it to yourself, put a stamp on it with a sufficient postage, by the way, stick it in another envelope, and then that other envelope that you fold it into and stick it in, you just send it to Savoya Media Coaster Offer, 6420 Ray Road, that's R-E-A, Ray, just 3 letters, Road, Suite A1, number 209. It looks like it says AI, but no, that's not artificial intelligence here, it's A1. Charlotte, North Carolina, 28277. I'll read that again. Savoya Media Coaster Offer, 6420 Ray Road, R-E-A, Road, Suite A1, number 209, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28277. You send that to me, and I'll send you a pair of Drink with Rick coasters. And that's how it works, It's as simple as that. You send me the envelope, and I'll take your envelope, and I'll put the coasters in here like that, seal it up like that, more or less like that, and send it right back to you. Okay, I don't know, normally fits in there pretty well. I just didn't put it in there correctly. Okay, well, that's how that works. Simple as that. And then I can send you can get 2 Drink with Rick coasters. So that's what we've got there. Any other comments in the chat? Okay, before we close up for tonight. And those who are viewing, just don't be afraid to jump in the chat and tell me how you're doing. And anything you wanna say, ask me anything, pretty much. All I can say is no, right? No, it's all good. All right, there is one more person that I would like to bring out tonight. Another friend, another compadre, companion, whatever. We ready to bring him out yet? I don't know. I don't know, unless there's anything else anybody wants to say. Any final thoughts from anyone in the chat before we go? Ed, I'm glad you came with the grapes, by the way. Any final thoughts from anybody before we close up for tonight? So quiet out there. You know what we need? We need more cowbell. Yeah. More cowbell. Okay, enough cowbell. I haven't done the cowbell thing for a while. I figured I might as well just run it tonight. All right, so next week on the show, I have another wine to open up. This is a wine from Israel. Unless something else comes along, but that's what I have scheduled. I have never had a wine from Israel before that I can ever recall. So we're going to open one up and we're going to try it out and see what it's all about. Should be very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. We'll see how that works. I like to try wines from all around the world. And that's what I'm trying to do. I mean, up until this point, I've been drinking wines from, a lot of California wines and stuff from the valley, from Lodi, from North Carolina wines. We have a lot of wineries and vineyards in North Carolina. I've tried some of those wines, and some of them are very, very good. I like to build more wines and things like that. But and wines from Oregon and wines from a number of places in the United States, and then wines, of course, Italian wines. Having some Italian blood in me, I have had a lot of Italian wine, and I grew up drinking Italian wine because my dad, that's what he kind of tried to stick to for, not all the time, but he would get a lot of Italian wines. That's what he drank, and he made his own wine, as my grandfather did. One of these days, I think I'm going to try doing that myself, to try to keep up with the tradition, the family tradition, the Savoy family tradition of wine making. I don't know the first thing. I took a little winemaking class once a few years ago, but I forgot everything about it so far, pretty much. But I'm gonna try it from scratch here and see how it turns out. And I'm planning to chronicle it in video, so we'll do a segment every week until the wine's done, and chronicling the progress of the wine and the process. And then once the wine is done, we'll open a bottle of it and drink it in the show. How about that? That could be fun. But that's what I have planned. Let's see if it happens. Well, that's the plan. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Well, we're trying wines from a number of different countries, from Germany and Italy and Spain, France, of course, Australia. I love some good Australian wines. Some Argentina. Love wines from Argentina. I've reviewed quite a few of these wines from different places in the world. I have a couple of bottles of wine, one from, I think from Lebanon, I think is what I have. I've never opened it. I hope it's still good to drink because I've saved it for a number of years because I thought that was kind of exotic. I was more collecting it more than I was thinking about drinking it. But I have one here from Israel, and I thought, that would be cool, because we've had a number of wines from South Africa, particularly the Pinotage, which is kind of a favorite of mine, a Pinotage grape. But I don't think I've ever tried a wine from Israel That was not now. Okay, and I have to make this clear. I'm not talking about the Manischewitz wines. I'm not talking about the ones that does not include. And I have had those. Okay, I've had the wines that they use and for Jewish traditions and things like that. I have tried those. I have friends who are Jewish, and they have. I've spent some evenings going over to their house for dinner, and they would serve the wines, which are, to be honest, are a bit really kind of sweet for my taste. I don't really care for the really sweet wines, but the actual wines, like the dry reds from Israel, I don't recall I've ever really had one of those. So I bought a bottle some time back. It's been sitting down there, waiting in the wings, so to speak, and I would like to open it up and try it next week. So that's what we're going to do. So that's what we've got going on there. And of course, now we have recommendations from let's see if he's still there. Hopefully he's still there, from T. Mathers. And for Chardonnay, I'm going to put a Chardonnay on the list and a Sauvignon Blanc as well, and we'll open those because we haven't had one of either for a little while. And we'll try those as well. I've got that on the list. And Marcus says, he's talking to Tom Antio, I think. All right, so I think that's what we got for tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed the favorite photos, mostly of grapes. And I hope you enjoyed the video of tonight. And I want to give another shout out to Tom Antio. Happy birthday to you. And I want to give out a shout out to everyone who's joined me tonight. I want to thank everybody who's joined me in the chat tonight. I want to thank my lovely wife, Chi, my good friend, Ed, and all my friends on Twitch, including CM Cinder, Tom Antio, Scott MTHW, thank you for being here tonight. Marcus Ellis, thank you for being here tonight, joining me. And everyone who joined me on, Odyssey and Twitter. I hadn't really checked Twitter, and I apologize for that. I hadn't really been checking the notifications lately on Twitter. There were a few earlier, didn't really catch them all. Let's see. So we've got, a few things. Nothing specifically for me. And Jose, if you're watching tonight, thank you. He put up a picture some time back on Twitter with the Drink with Rick coasters that he ordered and received. And he was showing that off with looks like a glass of red wine there. And I want to thank everybody who's joined me tonight, and those who are watching who didn't participate. That's fine. It's all good. But I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Now, with that being said, let me bring out our other celebrity guest, who's pretty much a regular on this show now because he is the official mascot of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Winestream. I'll bring him out now, and it is none other than Roadkill Bill. Yes, Roadkill Bill. The inimitable Roadkill Bill. Not quite flat as a pancake, but he's getting there. So Bill, who has quite a bit of experience being roadkill, pretty much, being torn up and chewed up and shredded up and everything, he's been through heck. Bill has a message for each one of us, and the message is, do not drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, your dwelling, wherever you are. If you're still at the office and you're drinking there, hopefully you're not drinking in the office, but if you are, just stay put, okay? Please. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab, call a friend, just stay put, and that's probably the best thing to do until things wear off, right? It's just not safe for you to go out driving after you've been drinking. And you know what? Buzz driving is drunk driving, as they say. I'm really serious about that. I mean, it seems like I kind of make light of this, but I'm really serious about this because I have personal experience. I've had a friend who was seriously injured. I lost a nephew to a drunk driver. I have been in situations where I wasn't driving, but the person who was driving was very inebriated, and it was very fortunate that we made it home alive. So I'm very serious when I say please do not drink and drive. Do not text and drive either, because it's also very, very dangerous. Distracted driving is just as bad as drunk driving, really. Because I want you to have a great week, but most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can all join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Winestream, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.